Hello my lords, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Nick Saraf's Foodlog. Today we're doing a world favorite, a food that's eaten in nearly every country and it has its own variations depending on which country it's made in. Today we're going to make it a pizza. Now I'm going to be making a stuffed cheese pizza today. So for making the pizza base, we have 500 grams of flour. I'm going to be adding 8 to 9 grams of salt to it. Now let's make a well in the center and add about 40 to 45 milliliters of olive oil and 445 milliliters of water. Now let's bring this together to form a paste. Once it is nice and pasty, we add in about 18 to 20 grams of instant yeast and continue mixing till it forms a firm dough ball. Firm but supple. When the dough comes together, dust the surface and knead the dough for another 10 minutes. When the dough has become soft, smooth and supple and it doesn't stick to our hands anymore, it's done. So we keep it in a clean bowl, wrap that up with some plastic and we keep this aside for half an hour for it to rise. So now that we have half an hour for the dough to rise, let's make the marinara sauce that will go on top of the pizza. And for this, we need a saucepan on medium to high heat. I'm going to pour in a good quantity of olive oil. Let the oil heat up. We add a whole chopped onion and we cook it till it's translucent. Once the onion is cooked, I will add in minced garlic. Now you can add any amount of garlic you want. Now we add a few leaves of basil to the mixture and cook it for just a few seconds. And now we add a can of pureed tomatoes. Now this is about 4 tomatoes and its juice. The tomatoes are skinned and whole. We just cook them on their own like that. And when the sizzling comes down, we take a masher and mash them in. When it is appropriately mashed, add in salt, crushed black pepper, and dry powdered oregano. Give it a mix. Since I love spice, I put in a little bit of cayenne pepper with the oregano. Now put in just a touch of water and let it come to a gradual boil. When it comes to a boil, add in a few more leaves of basil. There we go. And let it continue boiling for 1 minute. And the sauce is done. Now that our dough has doubled in size and it looks beautiful, let's take it out of the bowl, keep it to the side and split it in half. And let's cover it with a dry cloth. Let's take this piece of dough and pull it slightly to make a circular shape. Lightly brush the surface with some flour and some on the top of the dough. And let's roll it out. Now I'm going to be using a specialty cooking pizza base for making this pizza. We will brush this with some oil, any oil. Make sure you brush it properly and this is well oiled. Stretch my base over this. Give it a good roll inside. Trim off the excess. And make sure you pull it towards the edges and make a nice thin crust. So when you make an ordinary pizza, you will be putting the sauce on top, whatever topping you wish, cheese, and in the oven it goes. But since we're making a stuffed crust pizza, I will be making another circle and putting it on top of this. But before I do that, I have to fill this up with our marinara sauce. And a mixture of cheddar and mozzarella cheese. And now I shall add some cheddar cheese and some grated mozzarella. Make sure it doesn't go over the edges. We start to work with the second piece of dough that we had reserved under a cloth. Same process, lightly dust the surface, lightly dust the top of the dough, pull it, make it circular, and roll. Now that we're done with this, we get the already done base and put it on top. Trim off the excess. Pinch the base to seal the filling inside. Once this is done, we add the sauce on top of it. Be generous with the sauce. Now, since this pizza is going to be at 200 degrees in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, I'm not going to add the cheese on top right now. Otherwise, the cheese will surely burn. So, let's just put it as it is for 20 to 25 minutes at 200 degrees in the oven. This pizza is about 3/4 done. And now we'll top it off with a mixture of cheddar and mozzarella. And now back to the oven this goes for 10 more minutes. And our pizza pie is done. Now we leave it aside to cool for about 10 minutes. So let's cut into this beauty now. So there you have it, a double stuffed cheese pizza. Bon appetit!